So yeah, welcome everybody to the Hack DeFi finale. Thank you very much, firstly, to Wintermute for making all this possible, for sponsoring and helping us with the workshops throughout the hackathon. But today we're here to see all of the kind of pitches from the top 10 projects that have been selected to pitch in the finale. Each project is going to do a 3-minute pitch, followed by maybe 1 or 2 minutes of questions from the judges before moving on to the next pitch. And so there'll be 10 pitches. And after that, the judges will go into a breakout room where they will decide on which projects will be getting the first, second, and third place prizes. But they're not the only prizes we're giving out. We'll get onto that shortly. But this is a rough overview of the schedule there. You can see, hopefully the whole event will take no longer than around 90 minutes. Depends how long we take with the judge questions, but we like to keep those short and sweet where possible. So just a tiny bit about Encode before we do get started. So Encode is a Web3 learning community. We run a lot of educational events. We run hackathons such as these. We also do accelerators to take these fantastic hackathon projects and try and turn them into proper crypto startups. And also we do now do Solidity boot camps, which are 10-week boot camps taking fantastic Web2 devs or people that are just getting into Web3 development and teaching them 4 sessions every week for an hour and a half, as well as team projects and homeworks to hopefully get them jobs in the space as Web3 developers, because they are very much needed at the moment. And yeah, this is our community, pretty global at the moment. We work a lot with universities, but also developer communities all over the world. And we've had some successes come out of Encode before. So you can see a few names there. Obviously, Reflexer did finish third in an Encode hackathon, as did another stable coin or floating coin called Float Protocol, also finished third. We have Oxmons, which is a fantastic generative NFT project, which they're just launching basically an OpenSea competitor, which was announced yesterday. Euler, which is a permissionless lending platform, and Friktion, which is a play-to-earn football management game, and many more. But these are just a few we wanted to highlight as members that have come through the Encode community and gone on to do well. And hopefully we'll see some more successes coming out of today's hackathon. So yeah, opportunities after hackathons and education series and accelerators is basically become ambassadors for kind of blockchain protocols and for companies such as Wintermute. I know they're hiring quite aggressively at the moment. So hopefully someone can put the link to their careers page in the Zoom chat now as well. And yeah, get jobs in blockchain, get funding for your project as well, and many, many other opportunities to go as well. And yeah, if you want to get involved with Encode, feel free to jump in our Discord. I think someone from the Encode team is going to pop that in the Zoom chat as well now. And yeah, there's lots of conversations going on there all the time. People looking for team to find developers to work on a project together. And we've got plenty more hackathons and accelerators happening in 2022. So yeah, first, thank you very much again to the sponsors, Wintermute. It's been fantastic working with them and seeing all the support they provide, and looking forward to hopefully keep these projects building and potentially get follow-on investment from Wintermute and support. So yeah, Hack DeFi was a 4-week hackathon to build an awesome project around DeFi. And yeah, it was very broad, probably our broadest hackathon ever, I think. You can build on any chain, which is fantastic, and has led to kind of quite a diverse range of submissions of projects on PolkaData, Solana, Ethereum, and more. So very interesting. And obviously, everyone wants to know about the prizes. So the first prize today will be receiving $20,000, second, 10K, third, 5K, and then the other finalists that aren't chosen as the top 3 will each receive $1,000, as well as the 11th and to 20th projects receiving $250 each. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. What we'll do now is we're going to move on to the finalist demos. So let me call up our first team to the stage, which is Struct Finance. So yeah, feel free to take it away whenever you are ready.
All right. Hi, everyone. So we are Struct Finance, and we are building a structured products derivatives protocol for DeFi. So we have a team of 6, and we've started developing this project roughly 5 to 6 weeks ago, with Evan, Mariana, and Pranesh focusing more on the tech side of things, while Miguel, Ursin, and myself are focusing more on the business and community side of things. And there are a couple of different problems that we see in the space. Firstly, there's huge uncertainty with regards to price and yield fluctuations. Secondly, within the DeFi lending markets, investors usually have to fork out a huge amount of collateral in order to take on the loan, and this incurs huge opportunity costs. Struct Finance solves these problems by tokenizing different yield-bearing strategies and complex derivatives to create a suite of products that caters to different investors' risk tolerance levels. Since our products are tokenized, users will be able to use it on our lending platform as collateral, take on a loan against it, and increase capital efficiency. Now we have 4 different product categories in total, but I'll only be focusing on 2 that we are launching today, mainly the lossless and leverage product categories. And just to give a brief description on 2 of them, so our lossless products provide investors with the assurance that their principal is safe while allowing them to take on riskier positions with higher yield, while our leverage products will automatically collateralize a struct product, take on a loan against it on our lending platform, and deposit it in a yield-bearing instrument to take on more leverage. Now let's quickly walk through a couple of the workflows for these 2 products. So for the lossless product, all the user will have to do is to select their risk exposure and deposit their assets. Our contract will then perform a calculation and plot a percentage of the deposit into a fixed yield instrument to guarantee the principal at certain maturity, while the other percentage will be deposited into an instrument of the user's choice. Now, this could be a leverage farm to obtain significantly more yield, or let's say a derivative such as a put option to hedge against a market downturn. At this point in time, our contract will mint an ERC-1155 Struct SP token to represent the user's position. Now, the user can then take this token, head on down to our lending platform and deposit it as collateral to take on a loan against it. And this lending platform in turn powers our leverage products. And to quickly go through the leverage product workflow, all the user at this point in time needs to do is to select their risk exposure and also deposit their funds. And once it's deposited into a contract, the contract will deposit it into a struct product. The resulting token will be used as collateral to take on a loan on our lending platform. And that loan will be deposited into an instrument of a user's choice, or in this case, even a struct product as well. Finally, our contract will also mint a token to represent the user's position. Now that we have a better understanding of how the products actually work, let me quickly jump into a demo to give you a taste of what the user actually experiences. Now for this demo, we'll be focusing mainly on the lossless product workflow and how it can be used as collateral on our lending platform to take on a loan. So when user enters our Struct platform, they'll see multiple different product cards and we'll offer them information to make a decision. Or at this point in time, the user just needs to connect to their wallet and select the product of their choice, deposit their assets, and in this case, we'll go with 10 ETH. Click next, we'll give them a breakdown of the rewards and the fees involved, and the user just needs to confirm and sign the transaction. At this point in time, our contract will mint an ERC-1155 Struct SP token to represent the user's position, and the user can then take this token to our lending platform to take on a loan. They'll first have to deposit their token, and they'll just do it here, right? They have to select the position ID, and then they'll have to approve the ERC-1155 token, sign it, and once it's approved, they'll have to confirm the deposit. And once that's done, they will be able to take on a loan. And at this point in time, the user has roughly 9.5 ETH in their wallet. They'll just have to go onto the borrow page, select the token that they want to borrow. Let's go with 1 Ether as the borrowing amount. Click next, confirm and sign the transaction. And once that's done, the user will see that they have 1 additional ETH in their wallet. So we've just seen the lossless product workflow, which is meant to be super simple and intuitive for any user to use, and also went through the lending platform, which allows users to collateralize struct products and also powers our leverage products. Now on to the next steps. We're currently raising our seed round of funding, and this funding will be used for 3 things. Firstly, to further develop our products. Secondly, to acquire more users, and lastly, to scale on the team. And we aim to get an audit and launch our products in February. So that's it for our demo, and we'll see you guys on mainnet soon.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Lewis. So that was the Struct Finance team. And yeah, just a reminder on the format, we're going to have the pitches from the finalists, then the judges and myself will go into the breakout room, and hopefully fairly quickly we'll decide upon the top three projects that have pitched today. And then we'll all come back into the same room and we will do the kind of reveal of the top 3 prize winners. And whilst myself and the judges are in the breakout room, Anthony's going to read out the 11th to 20th project winners as well. Thank you very much, Lewis, and the Struct Finance team for that fantastic pitch. Next, we will move on to the PolkaData team with Michael.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are PolkaData and we help investors gain an edge in DeFi. So of course we couldn't be here without our amazing team. We started building this in October and really fell in love with our data product, and we hope you do as well. So the big opportunity that we see is with DeFi, it's quickly growing. It moved from just a few billion back about 1.5 years ago, now to over 250 billion. But with that rapid growth, a lot of the tools that support it are either in their infancy or how they support DeFi is in their infancy. So thinking about 4 million or so DeFi users currently and how that's going to scale to hundreds of millions over the next decade, we asked the question, what's really going to inform their investment? And so the way we've thought of this is the best solutions are often the simplest. So we started by asking, what is currently informing the decisions of DeFi investors. And we found that most of the time they're looking to influencers on Twitter, on YouTube, on Reddit to inform how they're doing due diligence and looking into new projects. So we said, how can we mirror this process, but with data? And so what we found was we can go into a specific blockchain, find the top wallets, find those influential wallets or smart money, help the user explore that, drill down and see how they're either operating in aggregate or as individuals. And so we'll show you a demo of that happening here. So what we did for this demo is a single blockchain. It's the DeFi hub of the PolkaDot ecosystem. And so the first thing the user sees is the top wallets in a given blockchain. So you can see who the key players are. And here we'll drill down to something like borrowers. So we can see who are the top people borrowing and lending in a given environment. And that at a high level informs us if there's going to be, if a lot of people are close to a liquidation, and that's going to have price impact. So we can drill down into the wallet, as you'll see here. We can see holdings, how much they have staked, the different type of extrinsics going on, how active this wallet has been in the past 30 days. And then we get down here and you can see how they're structuring their collateral and debt to see if they're close to liquidation or how their portfolio looks like in general. And then we can come to here to our own portfolio. And then we use this to compare a user's portfolio to how some of those smart wallets are investing and structuring their own portfolios. So we can get a one-to-one comparison. And the exciting part is when we go to this following tab, we can actually curate a list of followed wallets that the user has found over time. And what we'll then do with that is we'll take those followed wallets and curate a transaction list, much like you'd see on a Twitter newsfeed based upon the users you're following. Based upon the wallets one of our platform users is following, they will get this curated list. So we've got a lot more features coming. Specifically with this quarter, we're going to finish up getting wallet labeled for a given blockchain that we've been working on. And thankfully, we've had the support of Encode through their PolkaDot accelerator. So we're excited to start that journey. We'll expand into the other blockchains in the Kusama ecosystem, and then have our seed round and start hiring additional engineers in Q1. After we build out a comprehensive dashboard for all the PolkaDot ecosystem, we believe we can be the foremost data analytics platform for PolkaDot and launch a paid version. And then by Q3, we expect to be able to expand to other L1 dashboards. And ultimately, we believe that people are not nearly bullish enough about data in Web3. And we believe that we can be one of the key builders in that space. Thank you. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael. Do we have any questions for the PolkaData team, judges?
Yeah, I guess one more general question from me. Basically, why do you guys choose PolkaDot as the first chain to focus on, and like what was the plans with regards to other chains?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, we love PolkaDot. We love the overall architecture. And we think specifically it offered us a great environment to build an MVP. We could focus on one specific parachain and then look at the interoperability of data as we expand beyond that single parachain. So that was unique. And then also, since we just started back in October, the support that we've had through the PolkaDot and Encode partnership has been tremendous. In terms of bringing on other blockchains, it's really going to be based upon user feedback. Once we start expanding the number of users using our platform, what are the key chains that they're investing on once they're familiar with our product?
Cool, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael and the PolkaData team, and Evgeny for the question. So next we are going to move on to Rainbow with Jean-Yves.
So hi everyone, we are Struct Finance, and today I want to present you our project that we did for this hackathon, Rainbow. This is a DeFi option screener. So why did we build Rainbow? Because we want to write three trends, three waves. First of all, we are all here because we think that crypto assets are more and more mainstream. Second of all, we believe in the future or present of Internet of Blockchain. So as we've seen with multi-layers, multi-shards, and cross-chain, more communication and more application using those capabilities. And third, spot trading is usually much smaller than derivatives, and we hope that's what will happen with crypto. So specifically for the option and for what it interests us on the DeFi side. So that's why we built Rainbow, which is one dashboard where you can go and see the data from many as possible provider in the DeFi space, option DeFi space. So today on our demo, we have integrated three markets. So we have Deribit, which is a centralized exchange, so the main place to trade DeFi, crypto options, so Ethereum and Bitcoin. We have Open, which is on Ethereum, and that use 0x order book and the graphs. And on the Solana side, we integrated with PsyOption, which use the Serum order book. So we have a live demo on our website, but for this hackathon, we are going to show you a video. So as you can see, we see like the option available. We have dark and light modes. You can choose which asset market you want to look at. For instance, we see like Aave and Uniswap only available on Open. But of course, the biggest market right now are Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can sort through the strikes or to expiry. And using that, you can try to buy at the lowest price or sell at the highest price for one strike, or try to find some arbitrage. Here, for instance, we see that the 5K strike, which is very popular, is available on those three platforms. But you can see that the spread is too high on Open, so you will try to do an arbitrage between PsyOption and Deribit, for instance. So what are our next steps? We want to integrate more protocol. There's a lot of protocols that use AMM, so like Lyra and pods on Ethereum or EGIC, for instance. And we want to integrate those protocols to give a proper view on the whole market. And our go-to-market strategy is actually very easy because we are very active on those Discord and we know those developers. So we reach out to get some alpha user, and we already got a lot of feedback on our first version. So for the next step, we are looking for a funding and accelerator program to bring it to the next stage. Thank you for your attention. And if you have questions, we'll be happy to answer.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jean-Yves. Do you have any questions from the judges?
I have a question. So I'm bad at trading options. One of the things I know is that you can price options sort of independently based on past volatility and how long the duration of the option lasts. Do you see yourself providing that kind of information for users like me who want to just be able to value, is this a fair priced option or not?
Yes. I guess the easy next step is to add like Greeks and implied volatility data. But then, since we already collect those data, we can have some historical price and use it and compare with realized volatility and be able to help people to decide. So for now, it's just showing that those data, the price are here, and provide a way for people to trade on those options.
Thank you.
Yeah, question on my side. Basically, what is well, maybe not necessarily end goal, but like mid-term goal for this? Because I can imagine allowing users to buy and sell based on your platform. Well, that would be great, but it will eventually, and if not already, be taken over by professional market makers. So what are other things you think users can do with the platform? Is it like mostly going to like analytics side of things, or how do you see it?
There's like two ways. First, you want to, if you target just like the end users, the current user we have, those just want to be exposed to action and learn how to trade and trade. And for those people, you kind of want to have one nice place where they can see the data, but you also want to help them trade. So maybe have a buy and sell option that doesn't send you to the website, but just integrate directly with Phantom or MetaMask. That would be cool. That from the user perspective, but then from the market makers and very like traders, we have like we started with a CLI, and then we have like the UX because it's easier to get like small users, but we plan to make more like an API and help them like trade, because we already worked on market data before. So we have like, Jupyter's like in place. We have a lot of market data together. So it's like mix all those data and have an API to provide those kind of, sort of subscription base to those clients.
Fantastic.
Cool, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jean-Yves and the Rainbow team for that pitch. Next, we will go on to SimpleWallet with Park and Sai.
Yeah, so we're Park and Sai, and we're the team behind SimpleWallet. So just give a quick background on who we are. We're actually both current MBA students at London Business School, and we both have extensive experience in the fintech and blockchain spaces. Our tech lead is Ravi, and we're also being advised by our friend Gautam, who's a blockchain software architect based out of Singapore. So what is SimpleWallet? Well, we've all sent cryptocurrencies before, and we know that wallet addresses can be long and tedious to use. So SimpleWallet is an accessibility layer that lets you link your existing wallet address to intuitive social logins like your Google or Facebook account, or even a mobile phone number. So the idea is to make it really easy to send and receive crypto so we can bring crypto to the masses. Now, how do we do this? Well, we could host a list of wallet addresses and social logins on a server, but that would be centralized and insecure. So instead, we've gone for a fully trustless approach. We use an interesting technical solution, which is to mint an ERC-721 NFT token to represent ownership of an email address or phone number. And we actually use that to verify wallet addresses when sending crypto. So let's jump straight to a demo. To get started, we need to actually connect one of our social logins. So we'll go with our Gmail account in this case. Then we can link our existing digital wallet. So for example, MetaMask. From here, we can actually directly send crypto to a list of pre-saved addresses. So these are simply other users who have registered their email address or phone number with SimpleWallet. And we can also, of course, specify a manual Ethereum address. We can check our balances and transactions. And we can also control the receiving addresses and wallet endpoints they want crypto funds to be wired to.
Why are we building this now? Anonymity is sometimes less important than ease of use in blockchain transactions, and our current wallets are very inefficient in supporting transfers between trusted parties. Further, our polls among MBA students who are also avid blockchain users and some extensive research has validated our hypothesis that on wallet inefficiencies. With SimpleWallet, we would like to make wallet usage seamless. Today, the market opportunity for friendlier wallets is 150 million, and this is only growing exponentially. Going forward, we plan to deploy a solution first on Ethereum mainnet, and by mid-Jan, we would later then expand into other blockchain platforms, making a platform or a solution platform agnostic. Next, we shall aim to set up some integrations with other crypto exchanges and blockchain applications. Towards this end, we have already received some interest from Singapore FinTech Association and another blockchain startup called Persistence on the possibility of exploring the solution as a DAO. And in parallel, we're also looking for ways to monetize our solution. Last but not the least, with small incremental steps, we would like to make blockchain wallets more user-friendly and transactions more seamless with SimpleWallet. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Park and Sai. Any questions from the judges? I see Will's got his hand up. Go for it, Will.
Hi, guys. I'm an ENS user. I have a .eth domain, and on that .eth domain, I can register my phone number and my email. And if someone were just to use the lookup function, they could find those pieces of information already on an ERC-721. Why is your ERC-721 going to beat the standard of ENS?
Great question. For us, how we're doing is we're also going to be using oracles. We'll be using graph protocol. We don't put all the information directly on ERC-721. So essentially, we'll be using Chainlink for reference, and we'll be using graph protocol. So the ERC-721 token, whenever your smart contract is called, we'll be using the graph protocol to reference it back to the Chainlink, and then it'll fetch back whatever you're using for validation, and then perform the transaction on the blockchain itself.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of comment as well on the user perspective side, I think relatively experienced users in the space will know what ENS is. They'll know about these new domain names for Web3. But I think for someone who's new to crypto, An email address or a phone number is far more intuitive. And so in terms of our goal of bringing crypto to the masses, we think starting there is a great way to onboard more new users.
Yeah, and also want to add a little bit on from my personal experience. I built a blockchain company in Singapore before, which is the first licensed security token company in Singapore. We got licensed from Monetary Authority of Singapore, which I sold off to a major bank. One of the major challenges is most of the investors on a platform were over 40, who typically did not understand blockchain as a solution first. But when they came on board, because the solution was completely on blockchain, they found it really difficult to make those transactions between trusted parties. So if it's just someone you trust and verified on the platform, it makes the entire application so seamless. Not only for my previous solution, but a lot of applications today become so seamless.
Thank you.
Our fifth team that will be pitching today, which is Solaris Margin. So I believe we have Kirill.
So I'm Kirill from Solaris Margin team, and we built a margin trading app on Celo blockchain on top of Mula. It's like Aave on Celo, and Uniswap is like Uniswap on Celo. And when you trade on centralized exchanges, you can meet KYC requirements or lack of assets. Also, there are high borrow rates or high transaction fees on popular margin trading services like DYDX. And also there is a risk of losing money when opening leveraged positions. And we built a app that allows you to open leveraged long or short positions with lower borrow rates. For example, on Binance, the current borrow rate for stable coins is about 20%, and in our app, it's about 5%. And later, we are going to add conditional limit orders with stop loss take profit. Let me show how it works. So here we're opening CUSD against sell position, 3x and long. Now transaction is pending, and we can see it on Sell Explorer. And under the hood, our contract pulls users' deposit, then flash loans 2,000 CUSD on Mula, and swaps the result in 3,000 CUSD to 3,000 in Celo. And then it deposits to 3,000 in Celo to Mula and borrows 2,000 CUSD to repay flash loan. And finally, we have 2,000 CUSD debt and 3,000 CUSD in Celo, 3,000 in Celo as collateral. Our business model is simple. We are going to take a small fee for every position. And here you can see total available liquidity that can be used for trading using Solaris Margin, because we use all these protocols. And we are going to get our first users from Uniswap and Mula communities, and also Space Mine Group, a community of traders. As next steps, we're going to add limit orders to create seamless experience for traders, and also add isolated margin trading, and try to move our solution to other EVM-based chains and to Solana. Our team consists of two developers and a designer, and by these links you can check our code, try our app, and join our communities to stay tuned with us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kirill.
Hi, Kirill. I've got a question for you regarding the order of the smart contract processing. Why do you have to flash loan the extra 2,000 Celo and then repay it by borrowing at the end? Why not just borrow at step 2 and then finish the transfer?
Yeah, we can borrow much more than 1,000 CUSD if it is a collateralized loan on Mula. It's like on Aave. When you deposit, for example, 1,000 CUSD to Mula, you can borrow only 800 in CUSD.
Ah, I see. You need to have the...
Yeah.
I see. I get it. Okay. It's 2 steps. That's cool.
I have 2 questions. What's your approach to liquidations, and how do you plan to implement limit orders in future? Because on chain, it's always a bit tricky.
Liquidations are made by lending protocols. We use Mula, and Mula will do liquidations. So we don't track positions, user positions, and if there is a liquidation, a user can check it on Moola. We just automate opening the position. And what about limit orders? We can use conditional 1-inch limit orders of chain and track these orders. And the 1-inch limit orders allow you to check on chain the health factor of the position. And when health factor will be low, we can close this, we can fill this order, or if we go to other event-based chains, 1-inch can close it for us.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome,
One
thank
more
you.
question.
Oh, go for it, Anton.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah, short question. You use our flash loans and you use other lending protocol, not our. That's because our can be interacted inside flash loan.
We
Yes?
use Moola is like our, it's just a clone of our on so
Yeah, it's fork.
yeah, fork, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not possible to get flash loan and open position in the same protocol. Yeah.
Why not?
Because it's have reentrance protection.
No,
No?
you take flash loan, then you can borrow and deposit the same way.
Oh, this happens in the same protocol, yeah?
Yes, in the same.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I meant then that if we will use, for example, I don't know, another protocol like Skashi or something like that, we will do the same, but protocol will do liquidations for us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And you use 1-inch limit order protocol conditional orders to increase discoverability of this thing.
Yes, to create stop loss, take profit.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, some fantastic questions there. Very cool, and that brings us to the halfway point now. So now we are on to the final half of the pitches, and next team is the Krakura Bot team of Lester and Matthew.
We are from Krakura Bot. Let me shortly introduce ourselves. I'm Lester Houtenbos. I'm from a co-founder from Four-Stroke. It's a cross-exchange market-making company, and we operate on crypto exchanges. And I collaborated with Matthew Ashley. He's the founder of Burn Technologies. That's a software consulting company. And we met together on Discord, and we collaborated because of our interest in learning new technologies. And we did that through building Krakura. Krakura is an arbitrage trading bot. It trades between the Krakura DeFi platform and the Kraken exchange. Why would we do this? Well, on the Krakura, it is a decentralized exchange. It uses an automated market maker to provide the swapping functionality. And automatic market makers are very good at providing liquidity, but they're not very good at giving a fair price that follows the general market price. For their pricing, they rely on arbitrage traders who trade the price in the right direction or in the direction of the general market price. And these arbitrage traders, they can do this manually, but that's very difficult or time consuming. And they often rely on trading bots. And these trading bots are widely available for the centralized exchanges, but not yet for the decentralized exchanges. So that's why we built the Krakura trading bot. The Krakura trading bot enables users to automatically trade between Krakura and Kraken. And doing so, they profit from arbitrage opportunities. Also, this bot showcases how you can implement a decentralized exchange in your traditional arbitrage trading strategy. So here is a showcase how you can install it. It's a community project, so you can just get it from our GitHub repository. You pull it, you just use Yarn to build and install everything. And then you can also use Yarn to run it. Once you run it, it will ask you for a password to safely store your credentials. And it will ask you the credentials for the exchanges you're using. So this case, Kraken and Krakura. And then it immediately starts trading with the funds you have over there. And here it executed a trade with a small profit of 20 cents. Amazing. So we write also all the data to a database you have on the same machine as where the bot is running. And here you can see some price data, the balances here, and some trades you did. So in this time frame, we did 11 trades and a profit of 11.4 USD. Also, this is a time frame of about 2 days. And you see the different lines are the price data of Krakura and Kraken. And you see quite high differences. Unfortunately, we could not trade on all instances because at some point we were axed, which means that most of our funds were on, or the funds were not divided in a way you can still trade. So there are still a lot of opportunities to trade, but we couldn't capture them. And that's how there are still a lot of improvements to be made. And that's a good thing because we like improving. So for the future, what would we like to do is provide additional asset pairs to trade on. So now it only trades on Kusama and USD and KUSD. Inventory management. So you can automatically send these assets from one platform to another. Skew margins. So if you're axed, then maybe skew your margins a bit so it would trade your balances in the right direction again. And add outbidding functionality, because you can already see on Kusama as well that people outbid your bids when you try to make a trade, and that's not good for your profitability. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lester. Any questions for the Krakura team, judges? No worries. Awesome. Let's move on then next to our 7th team of the day, which is Rysk Finance with Jib.
So thank you to everyone and Encode and Wintermute for hosting this. It's been an awesome experience for all of us. So yeah, let me sort of start by describing our submission, Rysk Finance, which is about enabling DeFi's efficient frontier. So before I go into the product, we're a bit on the team. So we're from a very varied background throughout DeFi, finance, startups, and we're very excited of what we built and happy to show you. So what is Rysk? So Rysk is about enabling DeFi's efficient frontier. So the efficient frontier is the combination of assets and yields that has the best possible returns for its levels of risk. So given that risk isn't really quantified in most of DeFi, this often creates portfolios that take more risk than necessary for a given return level. So why build Rysk? So in DeFi at the moment, most yield is based off token emissions. And while this is good, it's it can't really last forever. And on top of that, this yield is heavily market correlated. And another reason is DeFi derivatives and risk metrics are both important parts of finance, which we feel aren't really understood by the average DeFi user. And it's something that we want to champion and build going forward. So back to the point on correlation. So the current problem across crypto is assets are heavily correlated. So as a result, diversifying across multiple crypto assets and yield strategies doesn't really reduce your portfolio volatility. So strategy vaults that have a low correlation to the general crypto market do reduce portfolio volatility while still maintaining a positive return, meaning you're less susceptible to market conditions. And then finally, by building strategies that have very low or negative correlation with the broader crypto market, a portfolio can be created that minimizes volatility without reducing returns. So for the most part, you're not susceptible to these adverse market conditions. So the first product we built to really fit into this idea is dynamic hedging. So this is a strategy and AMM developed to solve both sides of the options market's problem. So in order to have an AMM that's willing to sell participants any option they desire, the AMM hedges its own price exposure. It uses the delta of the options it's sold, which is the correlation of the options to the underlying market, to determine its pool delta. To target a delta of 0, the pool sells options that move delta away from 0 dearer and options that move it closer to 0 cheaper. So this vault essentially enables a myriad of structured products and arbitrage of opportunities to build on top of it. So we modeled this and found that this produces a pool that generates a positive yet uncorrelated return stream for liquidity providers. And so you can see this through the better returns and lower beta compared to the the standard ETH buy hold benchmark. Another thing we actually ended up building was the Y-Trip. So this is a risk adjustable and diversifiable structured financial product architecture, and essentially enables us to construct complex strategies with varying risk and correlation, which means that we can offer products to pretty much any liquidity provider with various risk tolerances. So I'll now go for our demo. So split into two vaults. So on this page, you can sort of very simply see the strategy, how it's broken down, various APY and risk metrics associated with the strategy in vault itself. Then you can sort of go into learn more about strategy, how risk is defined, and also portfolio performance. So it's really important in DeFi that UI is simple. So we have a very easy to understand familiar approved deposit withdrawal workflow. So on the Dynamic Hedging Vault, very similar sort of front end. You can deposit ETH and USDC, see how the strategy fits together, and various risk metrics and APY, as well as the portfolio performance of the strategy. So yes, thank you to everyone, and we're super excited to keep on building this out. So we're currently raising and building out a community and speaking to users to literally build this as best we can be. And we're looking forward to everyone to talk to on our Discord. So feel free to follow us on Twitter, join our Discord. I'll send a link to that in the chat. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Gibran, and the Rysk team. Okay, let us now move on to, unfortunately, the OpenSea Auto Bidder team can't be with us today. So we're moving straight on to Conditional.fi. Take it away, Yevon and Ivan.
Hi, we're Evgeny and Ivan, and we are building a conditional liquidity protocol, a protocol where market makers could set up any price functions that they would like to have. And the problems that we're trying to solve is the capital efficiency of blockchain-based liquidity. Our solution is the ultimate flexibility, which could be reached by using so-called order templates, boilerplate contracts, logic of which could be used to place new orders. You may think about Union tree as an example of a template with logic of range orders, and anybody could use this logic to place new range orders for certain pair of tokens. Let's go further with this idea, and instead of using only one preset template, it will be possible to create a template with any logic and that could be used to place new conditional orders by just specifying link to the template. And the second idea is, instead of using closed form function, we will directly answer the question, what price should be for this quantity? By just setting points with quantities and price that corresponds for this quantity. And if there is no point with exactly that quantity that the taker needs, we will apply linear interpolation and find an intermediate point. This approach allows us to approximate and create any price function.
Now let's go to the demo. There are no orders having been placed at the moment, has not enough liquidity to process our trade. So let's deploy our template, push it to the registry, and use it to place a new two-sided order. An order where, after the partial sale of token A, received token B transferred to the opposite side and participating in the liquidity provision. Here we specify template ID, pass a desirable price function as an array, and specify a deadline. And that's it. After that, on the front end, the user is faced with a classical DEX interface where he can swap tokens, and our off-chain router will find for him an optimal path among all the conditional orders. Yeah, here it is.
We have shown only the static points, but they also could be dynamic and encapsulate any conditions. So you could configure your order in a way that it will accept trades only when market conditions are met. Finally, all templates and orders are represented in the form of NFTs, so their owners could wrap it into an ERC20 token by using Manager and fundraise liquidity from a decentralized LP. Our plans is to finish the router and find some partnerships with market makers before going to the mainnet Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, and other EVM compatible chains. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you very much. Any questions at all for the Conditional.fi team, judges?
I had a hard time understanding it. I think it's because I don't use this kind of tool very much. Could you say, like, what's like the two sentence pitch to a normie retail DeFi person?
Actually, it's not for the retail normie, because we think that for retail normies there is no difference where they could swap tokens. The interface is the same as Uniswap. It is the tool for market makers to give them more flexibility in placing their orders and providing liquidity.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So now we'll move on to the final team pitching today, which is going to be the Friktion team. So after that pitch and any judge questions, we will then, the judges and myself will go into the breakout room. Anthony will announce the 11th to 20th place prize winners, and then we will come back from the room once the winners have been decided and get them announced. So yeah, feel free to take it away, Friktion.
Hi guys, we're Friktion. We're a portfolio management product built to perform across market cycles, and we're powered by Solana. We're a team of DeFi degens, quant traders, and researchers who recently left TradFi to come and start Build Friktion for the main reason that we're not seeing the type of portfolio management and product management tools available on Solana or many other DeFi apps. A couple of beliefs that brought us here are that the return on investment is more important than APYs that we see in the short term. A lot of these are, as someone has mentioned before, kind of unsustainable due to token emissions and inflation. Second, we believe that long-term returns or yield come directly from the inherent risk properties of an asset. And then third, we believe that risk cannot be destroyed, only transformed. And our job as Friktion is to create products that transform risk so users can see their appropriate exposure across the curve. So introducing Vaults. Vaults are Friktion's native investment products designed as building blocks for individual portfolios in DAO treasuries. Our first set of Vaults we're working on are focused on income generation, vol yield, and a hedge for impermanent loss. How this works on the back end is it's kind of like a 1-inch best price index or best price engine. We look at on-chain order books, on-chain market makers, and off-chain market makers to get our users the best price across the Solana ecosystem. And but no better way to kind of explain than just to jump in. So we are live on Solana DevNet right now. We launched recently, so we can kind of run through that demo. So our first Vault is focused on income generation, as I mentioned. It includes automated covered call selling, and it allows users to auto compound while the protocol selects algorithmically their strike and expiry. So our deposit model is quite simple for most users, even if they haven't interacted with Solana DeFi before. Simply kind of come in, deposit into the protocol, and then on a weekly basis, we're selling covered calls against your deposited asset and earning some premium. Again, we optimize for strikes and expiries to minimize the chance of getting called here. The next thing we'll be adding in is protected puts, which is cash secured puts to, and then we'll also be optimizing to avoid having to buy those underlyings back. So yeah, a little bit about our community as well. So recently, since kind of launching on Solana, we found a couple of really strong communities that have built around Friktion, particularly around what we call our lightning thieves, aka our OGs. So our Discord has grown a lot, as well as our Twitter. So be sure to give us a follow there if you're interested in learning more. Then next steps for us in the short term, kind of work with some kind of value add investors to help grow Friktion, launch mainnet in the next hopefully 10 days, and then bring some more kind of degens to join us along this journey and continue to grow our communities and DAO contributors through task forces while partnering with more DAOs in the ecosystem to integrate Vaults as their treasury management solution. And then in the more medium term, we're looking to ship out more Vaults focused around particular parts of the risk spectrum, and then also launch our automated portfolio manager, which is a recommendation engine between the Vaults, and to establish Friktion as a premier DAO treasury management tool in the DeFi ecosystem. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Judges, do we have any questions for our final pitch today? Cool, no worries. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the finalist pitches for Hack DeFi. So now I believe Anthony is going to invite all of the judges to join a breakout room. You should get a notification pop up in your Zoom window, and just if you can accept that, you should be placed into the breakout room. And for everyone that's remaining here, sure, Anthony's going to go over the winners for the 11th to 20th place as well, and chat a bit more about Encode programs.
Well done everyone on a fantastic set of pictures first and foremost. I actually, to be honest, think the quality is the highest I've seen. I don't think I'm too wrong in saying that. So first of all, congratulations on a jolly good job. Well done. I'm going to talk a little bit about what is coming next for you guys and Encode, and also then reveal the prize winners from 11th to 20th. The first thing to say, guys, is this is not the end of your journey with Encode very much. This, we hope, the start of a very big one. There are a few options to you available. We will be reaching out pretty much to everyone individually to talk about your next steps. If you are a company or a project looking to raise money, Encode has a dedicated investment fund to hopefully invest in you guys. We would very much like to do so, and an outstanding broader investor network, some of which are here watching you guys, and I have no doubt you're going to get a ton of interest if you are looking to raise rounds. Anyway, so the first thing is that if you are looking to raise money, please do. We will be in touch, but if you want to make that process even faster, you can message me right now and we will help you do so. We do have a number of accelerators coming, particularly if you've built on specific protocols. Do keep a watch out for those on the website. We will communicate with that with you individually. If this is the end of the road for your project, but you want to go full-time to the crypto space, we have our dedicated recruitment arm that will help you get a job. And again, same process, wait to hear from us. But if you really are keen, you can ping us this second and we will help do that and individually place you into great companies looking to hire. And of course, we have many great events coming up with the likes of Near, Solana, Avalanche, and many Terra, Tezos, many coming, many more to come to whet your appetite. I'm now going to announce the prizes that I can announce. So if you bear with me, obviously the top prizes are being deliberated as we speak. So as a reminder on the prizes specifically, so we have 11th to 20th will be doing $250 each. So the 7 other finalists that aren't in the top 3 will receive $1,000 each. So obviously I'm going to reveal that I'm going to assume all 10 have minimally got $1,000 because I actually don't know what the top 3 are. And the top 3 will get between them about 35 grand at splits, 20 grand on the first prize, 10 grand on the second prize, and 5 grand on the third prize. A note on payment, guys, this will be done so directly by the Wintermute team after the hackathon is over. We will help coordinate that process. It usually takes a few weeks to get sorted. In terms of, always reveal there. So first, we're going to announce the 11th to 20th prize winners, and I will read them out, but their list is here. So this is Chocolate, Whaler, Ethereum Web Wallet, Etherscore, Fala, Darkpool, Quartile, MetaSave, Scala Game, Icebreak, and NFT Phil. So congratulations, all of you. You've won $250 and a jolly good pat on the back as well. A job well done indeed. And as I say, the Wintermute team will be in touch to organise those prizes. In terms of, obviously, as you've probably worked out, everyone in the final, you will be getting a minimum of $1,000. The only variance of that being if you are in the top 3. But well done to reiterate to Struct Finance, to PolkaData, to Rainbow, to SimpleWallet, to Solaris, to Krakura, to Rysk, to OpenSea Auto Bidder, to Conditional, I should say, and to Friktion as well. You each win $1,000. Right, here we go. George, I'm going to leave you to announce our wonderful winners.
Sure thing. As a very tough decision. Lots of deliberation between the judges and having to go to second votes. And so, yeah, very well done to everyone who was in the hackathon. And yes, so the third place team who will be receiving, I believe it is $5,000, is a big round of applause for Friktion. So congratulations to the Friktion team for coming third, winning $5,000. Second place winning a whopping $10,000 is the Solaris team. So congratulations there to Kirill and Artem and Alexei. And then in first place, winning the grand prize and the Hack DeFi title as winners, $20,000 is Rainbow. So congratulations. Very well done. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for participating, submitting. Everyone that was in the final also will be getting that $1,000 if they weren't one of the top 3 as well. So we're all winners here really. And a special congratulations to Rainbow, Solaris and Friktion for fantastic performances and some lovely prizes courtesy of Wintermute. And thanks to our judges today for putting in their effort and doing the judging. It was actually a hard job in the end. So glad that we could eventually come to a decision. And also a massive thank you to Kat and Ivilo for helping, especially on the Wintermute side in organization. So yeah, I think finally we always like to get a nice photo of everyone. So if you want to put your cameras on, I believe Anthony can take a picture of us all in gallery view.
Yes, let's see a night. Cameras on, please, guys. Smiley faces.
Nice big smiles. Right, I think we've almost got it.
We've almost got a full screen. We've got 3 more.
2 more.
Are we going to make it? Oh no. Vanessa, get a camera on.
Okay.
The funny thing is, it's like some other people on the other page have obviously like got it on, and this one just won't work. Okay. Everyone say cheese. Perfect. Thank you very much. Well done, guys.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, that is us done for today. Obviously, stay in the Encode community. Many more hackathons coming in 2022 and accelerators. And thanks again to Wintermute and our judges for today. Cheers, everyone.